Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday live stream. We got a lot of things to talk about, so let's just jump right in. Now, if you have woken up, like myself, depending on where, of course, you are in the world, you may have seen a little concern as the market starts to take a tumble. And right now, the market cap is below 2.6 trillion, down the 2.5s. And look at this: Bitcoin down almost 4%, Ethereum down 4%, Tether, nobody cares. BNB 5%, Solana, and so on and so forth. It quite is a red day. Now, you can look at this any way you want to. Some people look at this and go, the sky is falling, the world is ending, this is awful. Other people look at this and go, hey, I got another dip, time to take advantage of it. It's all how you look at it. But the question you might have for yourself is, what the hell's going on? And to take a look at it, there's a couple things that are going on in the market and globally in the macro environment. So the first things first, which is quite simply, there was a lot of outflows yesterday. This is a great website, heyapollo.com. It takes a look at the Bitcoin ETF. It's a tracker. It looks very nice, very slick. And we can see the total net outflows just for yesterday, because today is June 11th, 2024. We can see that almost 1,000 Bitcoin total net outflows. Now, where did this come from? The usual suspect, which would be Grayscale Bitcoin, which they had been kind of reversing that trend for for a little bit of time. And they had actually have been net positive. Unfortunately for right now, it looks like we've got a negative side on our hands, and we'll see what happens. But we can see that iBit did its job of a whopping 91 Bitcoin, BitB 110 Bitcoin, but the rest of them, Bitco, BRR, just a negative outflow. But as a reminder, now I know people will look at this and go, Grayscale, when's this going to stop? As a reminder, we're making traction. We're going in the right direction. In the beginning, in January 2024, when this actually was approved as far as the Bitcoin ETF, Grayscale Bitcoin had all the Bitcoin. I mean, we had, tons and tons. I mean, you're looking at like 600, 700,000, somewhere 660,000, I thought it actually was. But we can see now that BlackRock or iBit actually has the lion's share and it's overtaking Grayscale. So as people start to dump out their Bitcoin on Grayscale, either they don't want to get back in, or it's going to be iBit or BlackRock and their massive amount of investors go, we'll pick that up. Thanks for dropping that. No big deal. And that's where we're at. And we see MicroStrategy and so on and so forth. So things are moving in the right direction. Just right now, it's just a little bit concerning, I guess, because we're down a little bit. But remember, this is Fed week. And if we're taking a look at key events for this week, don't forget that tomorrow we have not only the CPI inflation data, which we'll take a look at that. I personally think it's gone up, but whatever. We're going to get a Fed interest rate decision. Then, of course, we'll have the press conference, PPI, and MI consensus sentiment data. That'll all be this week. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh, great, FOMC is here. I think we all know here what's going to happen. They're not going to cut rates. And if they're not going to cut rates, then Wall Street's not too happy. Institutions aren't very happy. And crypto investors aren't very happy because, like, hey, we need that rate cut so you can start putting on those printers and quantitative easing. I don't think that's actually going to happen, but I've been wrong many a time. And there's a couple of rumblings that they may be getting closer. It really will be data dependent, like Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, talks about, to see what we actually have as far as with the inflation report. However, if we take a look at the Fed Watch tool, which I like looking at this, but I mean, it's kind of useful. But if you take a look at the history of the Fed Watch tool, everybody's just guessing, quite honestly. And you can look at that, the percentages. I mean, things can change on a dime. I'm not saying that I think we're going to get a rate cut. I don't think we are. But for tomorrow, it's a 99.4% chance we are not. Current target rate is 525 to 550. And that's where I think we're going. Now, if we take a look at July, same thing, 91%, maybe in September, maybe in November, maybe we get one, preferably two, hopefully more, but that's where we're at. And these are all subject to change. So that's what's happening in the macro space. That's what's happening with the ETFs, which makes a lot of sense of why we're actually reducing. And then also war. Nobody likes war. Now I take that back. Unless you're the industrial military complex, you like war. And certain countries, when their debt goes sky high, then they do like war. But this was just from BRICS News or BRICS Info. And we can see, and I put this out this morning, I'm like, great, just when I get back to Puerto Rico, where I live, Now I got submarines, nuclear submarines, not too far away. And this is from Bricks News. Russian warships along with a nuclear-powered submarine arrive in Cuba near the United States borders. Now, for all the Americans out there, you know who you are, who are like, okay, how far away is Cuba from America? Okay, how far away is Cuba from Puerto Rico? Let me show you, because I know what you're going through. I'm horrible at geography too. This is where I'm at. I'm in Puerto Rico. Beautiful place. Everybody should at least come visit me and just hang out for a bit and maybe even move here. And I can have more people to hang out with, which is great. But this is where I'm at, all right? And this is the Dominican Republic, that's Haiti. Okay, with me so far? Great. Here's Cuba, right there. And Russia and their nuclear submarine is somewhere around here. And there am I. But here's Florida. And that's how close we are. So if you're wondering yourself, like, where the heck is it? Well, now you know. And I think that makes the market a little bit skittish, especially with the things that have been said by Vladimir Putin, as he has for the first time called America an enemy. And we'll see how it all works out. But that's what's going on in the environment. But as a reminder, I know this is kind of tough to think about, especially with the red days and the thing we just talked about. The market is designed to shake you out. That's just pretty much how it is. And it depends on what your goals are, where you want to be, as far as profit taking, as far as a timeline and horizon. But just remember, you are right here as far as for the Bitcoin halvings and the time frame that we have. It always repeats itself, right? We get a halving, then we get an all-time high, then a dip and a reset. Then we get another halving, all-time high, dip, reset. And right now, again, you are right here in this section. We just had it. We'll see where it goes. And then people always say, but that doesn't make any sense because, that's just a 4-year cycle. Who really knows? Listen, I've been here since 2017, and it seems like it just kind of falls into place. I don't know if we're going to have another pandemic. I don't know if we're going to start launching nuclear missiles. I don't know if there's some other collapse around the bend. I don't know. But I know if you don't like the price, just stick around. It'll change. Anyhow, that's what we have for today. Those are part of the reasons of why things are faltering. There will be other reasons that will come out throughout the day. You will learn about those and we'll know it. All I can tell you right now is that there are more sellers than buyers. And that's just where we're at. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do with this. Is this a hindrance or is this an opportunity? And of course, that's for you to decide. I can't give you financial advice. I'm not your dad. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And also, and lastly, I guess, Harry Kane. I don't know who this guy is, but apparently, if you're outside the United States, he's like a big deal. Professional footballer, as we call it, soccer. I don't watch soccer, but whatever. And I guess there's a big event coming up, Euro 24. I know this sounds ridiculous if you're like living anywhere outside the United States. You listen to this, you're like, how can you not know this? It's because we don't care about football. I mean, we don't care about soccer. Football here, we actually care about. Different things. But it's an interesting concept because why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about soccer, football, whatever, and Harry Kane? Because I know nothing about this. It's because of this. I have a very small percentage of my genetic makeup where I gamble a little bit. Or as I like to say, I play the lottery, right? The lottery, gambling requires some skills. If you're in blackjack, you have some skill right there, right? If you're on the roulette table, not really too much. If you're playing the lottery, there's no skill there. You just put your money down, you get a ticket, hopefully it goes up. That's essentially what this is. This is meme coins. This is from Kane on Soul. And I found this interesting. As part of the proceeds go to charities, 100,000 of the Kane supply gets burned for every Harry Kane goal during the Euros. And I guess this is going to start like this week. No, excuse me, June 14th. So for every goal that this guy, I guess he's good, makes, they're going to burn 100K. And you can find this meme coin, which again is gambling and a lottery ticket, on Dex Screener. I linked it in the description. And also, if you're looking to get in like I did, here's the contact address. Again, that's in the description. and that's the website. And how do you use that? I personally bought it. Now here's, of course, X, but I bought it through the Phantom wallet. And how much did I buy? 30 bucks. 30 bucks. You may notice I did not put $10,000 million into this. I just say like this. It's a lottery ticket. Looks interesting. People like soccer for some reason. I find it extremely boring, but whatever. If they want to watch this and they're root for this guy, Harry Kane, every time he kicks a goal and 100K gets burned, I'm all about it. I'm all for it. So if you want to join me for your lottery ticket, links in the description. I bought some, you bought some. Everybody's got skin in the game. And lastly, before we get to the Q&A, I sat down with the guys from Cornucopias. I had Josh and Rob on, and it was a great video. I'm going to probably release this later today. It's about 18 minutes long or so, and it really comes down to their node sales. I guess it's going to be done in like 20 days. So I will put that information out. And also, I also found a scam when I did this. I didn't know this, and Josh had to tell me. So I'll let everybody in on this information as soon as I can, but that's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Now, if you want to stick around, we'll do a little Q&A. I'll answer all your questions to the best of my abilities. And that's it. So thanks so much for stopping by. I do appreciate you. And let's go for it. Okay. Soccer was a word invented by the English FA many years ago. Great. And of course, everybody's making fun of me because I still call it soccer. And everybody's like, it's football. It's football, you dirty Yank. I'm like, okay, sounds good. A, digital asset degen, there's another option that can reset markets. Unfortunately, that's war. That is war. If you look at it historically, it doesn't look good, especially for countries who are massively in debt. Do you know how much debt we're actually in America? We do two things real well. We print money and we run up debt. And if you take a look, the website is usadebtclock.org. If we take a look at this, this is how much we got. Wow. $34 trillion. Oh, we're about to hit 35 trillion. America, we're number one. So when this happens, you'll start to see wars formation, and all of a sudden everything gets reset. And of course, the military-industrial complex really likes it because then they get paid fat and they get to put all their war machine into effect. So never let a good crisis go to waste. Here we are. I'm not saying we're going to hit World War III. I am just saying that it was quite interesting that Vladimir Putin, who looks very happy in this picture, that nuclear-powered submarines are right on my doorstep. Especially if you're in Florida too, right by Cuba. Interesting, interesting. Wow. Exactly right, Matthew. Soccer isn't an American term. May not be. It's the only thing I know. Let's see. What do we call football? Pigskin. Yeah, it sounds about right. That's a great photo. Looks like Ramparo and whatever her name is, the soccer player. Again, I don't know. I don't follow this football. Hard pass on that meme coin. Good for you, John. You don't want to gamble. I don't blame you. It is gambling. It's a lottery ticket. Football with your foot is the original. Now it makes sense. Michael says, I'm English. I know everything about American football and baseball. Educate yourself. If it's boring to me, I'm not going to educate myself. I'm sorry. I'm just not a soccer fan. And let's see. Tyboy15 says, do you still have conviction on Meld? Yeah, I think it'll do well. It's just that we didn't want to continue on with the stake pool. And the reason why is because Meld is essentially a decentralized bank. And they've got some banking license throughout different parts of Europe. And when we're doing the Meld stake pool, we did it for a year just to try it out. But the thing is, when you have that stake pool, remember Meld started on Cardano and they shifted over to Avalanche. I think they're actually multi-chain now, which is fine. And actually, when we talked to the guys, Josh and Rob from Cornucopias, I didn't know this, but they actually started on Binance chain. bridged over to Cardano, which is what everybody knows it. And right now they're bridging out even more to base and a couple of the different layer 2, which I have to applaud. I think layer 2s are a solution. Anyhow, getting back to my point, with the meld stake pool, you have to keep roughly 6 figures worth of Avalanche to keep your stake pool going. I don't know if you knew that. And I didn't want to lock it up for another year. I'm like, you know what? This is great and everybody's happy, but there's other stake pools that can take this. I don't want to have my Avalanche locked up. I made a plan and I stick to my plan. My plan is when certain indicators hit, I start selling parts of my altcoins and very small amounts of my Bitcoin. So I'm not going to have this locked up like that. And I step down we step down because I have a team that helps me. Actually, they do most of it because they're the technical people as a meld stake operator. I like Ken Oling. I like what they're doing over there. It's just that it didn't work out for us. Yeah. Rugby and football are two very different things. Exactly, Rob. Bitcoin will pump. Andy says a dump. I'm sure criminal Trump and Andrew Tate will save us. Make felonies great again. All of our ambassadors are creeps. And before anybody starts saying, oh, you should, oh, what, you hate Trump or oh, you love Trump? It's just a funny phrase. Make felonies great again. That's a red hat waiting to happen. Anybody can steal that. Sam says, why do you not have your normal Puerto Rico green screen? I can put that on. Oh. Guys, it's all green screens. There we are. And if you want me to be back in El Paso for that green screen, here we are again. See? Just green screens. I told you guys from the beginning, it's all green screens. Don't own any of this stuff. Live with my mom, basement. Fantastic. That's it. So, but the real reason though is right now we're doing renovations for our house here in Puerto Rico. And if you live in Puerto Rico, you know how hard it is to find really good people to do renovations. It's difficult. But we found some people and they're doing it, and we're going to be staying at another location. That's it. Dazzle says, do you think that the Bitcoin God candle will appear this cycle? Sure. Why not? I think it'll go up. And I think that if you look at my price predictions, they've been pretty accurate so far. And this next one for Bitcoin will be between $5 and $500,000. Somewhere in that range is where Bitcoin will be. So yeah, I can see a God candle. Road Trip Buddy says, you're telling me Biden is just going to let Russia bring the war toys this close? I'm not a macro economy or a global political expert. You can go watch Peter Zeihan for that. He's really good. Don't listen to him about Bitcoin advice. Horrible. But other stuff, right on the money. So we'll see. Your video has got always a gold nugget. Thanks, Bloody. I appreciate you. Harry Kane, so it's Kane, I guess. I linked Kane's X account, website, and deck screener, everything in the description. Do not try to search for Harry Kane, because, well, you're going to find, footballers, or as far as like the crypto token, because you may go to the wrong one. And if it does go up, I want you to be profitable. I don't want you to go, hey, it went up 2,000%, but unfortunately, I got the wrong contract address and I got rugged. Go to the right one. And I'm not even saying that one's going to do well. It's risky, but it's a lottery ticket. I got 30 bucks in there. Let's see if I can make 60. Pay for some of my gas here in Puerto Rico. Oh, the Aussies call it soccer. Good day. All right. No way. Let's see how bad we're doing today. So, yeah, wow. We're going to hit 66,000 Bitcoin today. Look at this. 67,000. Wow, look at that. So again, remember when it was like 40,000 and people were like, I just want to dip. And then 50,000, I just wanted to dip, but I'm going to get back in. And 60, then 70, then 73. And people are like, okay, when it dips, I'm definitely buying. Here's all your friends' opportunities. But if you talk to your friends, remind them, 4-year time horizon, and they think it's going to go up, and they hit the bottom, they're not even close. I see it going down even lower. Brian's got a good question. Hey, Rob, what's a good plan in the bear market for my Bitcoin iTRUST IRA? So what's great about Bitcoin, or excuse me, iTRUST IRA, is that you can trade within your account and it's tax-free, as long as you hit certain criteria. And of course, there's a video, there's a link in the description. There's a video I talk about iTRUST Roth IRA. But for me, the strategy is to accumulate not just Bitcoin and gold and silver. I know, surprise. But it's also to accumulate some altcoins. Because what's great about that is I can take profits in the Roth IRA, and tax-free, I can stick them into Bitcoin. And that's it. Because I don't think that tomato coin, or whatever the heck is on there right now, I don't think that's going to last 10, 20 years or whatever else it's going to be. I think it's going to actually falter, like a lot of different altcoins that are out there. So I ride up those gains, I take those gains, and off I go. So as far as like a bear market, the bear market is to accumulate as much as you possibly can, whatever your goals are. If it's straight up Bitcoin, cool. If it's Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum, all right. If it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and BitConnect, just kidding. Yeah, it's whatever you want to do. But remember that in the bear market, and you can look at it, previous historical cycles, you can see just how bad altcoins actually do compared to, say, Bitcoin. So for me, I sell, I put into Bitcoin, gold, and silver, and that's of course when it goes all the way up. And that's what I do for the IRA. That's probably what I'm going to do for, the normal stuff, or my normal accounts. And people will say, well, Rob, you don't pay taxes on capital gains because you're in Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's right. But I'm still going to do a Roth IRA because you never know. This Act 60 could go away. The government could say, you know what, we don't like you and your crypto bros having no capital gains. We're going to take that away. All right. Well, I got a Roth IRA, so I'm good. Always have a plan. Plan of action versus reaction. It's a good question. Seer Dwiney says, hey, Rob, in your option, how many Bitcoin cycles still to happen? 3 more? Thanks. I don't know. I think the volatility, and we've seen this actually over time. You can take a look at Ben's website. As far as like Bitcoin volatility, it has decreased over time. The return on investment has also decreased as well. But the people that I talk to here in Puerto Rico, and there's some old school OGs, we call them me and some friends, we call them the crypto Illuminati, because they've been around for so long. They kind of just have a good prediction. They think that this is one of the last big ones before regulation sets in, and before Gary gets ousted, and before Congress actually acts and puts bills on the books and says, this is how we're going to classify X, Y, and Z. This is a digital asset. This is a commodity. This is a currency. This is a security. This is how we're going to do it moving forward. And then there you are. It gets exponentially more risky after that if you're going to go into alts. But I think from what the Illuminati tell me, this is like one of the last ones. So right place, right time. Congratulations. How do you feel about Cardano? Love it. I love the community. And I just watched a video with Charles Hoskinson where he's trying to make everything more decentralized. And it was Dan Gambardello over at Crypto Capital Ventures. And he had a video where he says, this is great because now the DAO, which is what it's supposed to be, will actually vote. Do you want a stable coin on Cardano? Do you want USDC on Cardano? Do you want these options? You vote for it and you put it into place. Not what the foundation wants, but what everybody wants within Cardano. I like that look. Now, having said that, are they moving at breakneck speeds? No, they're not. But they're very careful. And we'll see if the slow and steady wins the race. I don't know. Because I own a lot of different altcoins. That's it. Thank you, Dejan. Somebody thought it was funny. Soccer is NASCAR at 5 miles per hour or baseball with 30 outs per inning. It's brutal. But it's how, this is the mind of an American, unfortunately. Not all Americans, but we just don't get football. We're just not very cultured. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's how it is. Real football starts this week. I didn't see. Thank God you're here. I had no idea. James, did you just give a Bitcoin price range of 5 to 500? I did. I can revise that. I see Bitcoin somewhere between $5 and $1 million by the end of 2024. I think I'll hit that one. Kamikaze says it right. I think it's a good old shakeout. I have to agree. I don't see what else is. But remember this shakeout, this could get worse. It could, especially, it's irrational, I know, but tomorrow we're going to hear Jerome Powell as he comes out and says, okay, I'm not going to raise rates and we're going to be data dependent for quite some time and it's going to be higher for longer. And the market might lose its mind as if they had no idea. I personally think that it's not the market losing their mind because we're all rational people. We know it. But I think it's a combination of two things. One, it's the whales who are like, let's just use this as a way to dump on people. And they dump on you. And then, of course, it goes down. They buy in lower. And the other part is it's just the weekend investor who's like, what? What happened? The Fed rates? Huh? I got to sell. And then that's what happens. So I think it's a twofer. I don't think that like people like us, like if you're here in this video right now, you know what's going to happen tomorrow. But if it doesn't, it still works out for us. Potato coin, the Irish will love it. That wasn't my joke. That was A's joke. It was kind of funny. Hey, Jerry Hall, Robbie ROTH IRA with iTRUST is the golden ticket for wealth creation. Nobody seems to understand. You know what I wonder about, Jerry, is that everybody gets into this like buy, borrow, die scheme, which is not a scheme. It's used by the ultra rich and like the Jeff Bezos of the world. But I wonder if you can use a Roth IRA and take collateral against it. Now that would be interesting because if you could do that, because over at iTRUST, I had a meeting with them actually, Consensus, and they told me some really good news, which I really would like to share, but I can't. But it's about custody and where they're going to go. So now they're still using Fireblocks, but and actually they got rid of Fortress, which I was kind of asking them to do anyhow. But the next people they're going to pick up is Primo. But wouldn't it be great if you could have a Roth IRA, borrow against it, and then put it in other assets? And then as those appreciate, then you can just pay back that other part. It'd be the same thing as like the buy, borrow, die. Loan comes out, everything's due, you put into assets, you buy those, you pay off the debt. If they ask like, hey, you need more, you can take out a bigger loan. That's exactly what Jeff Bezos does. If you never heard of buy, borrow, die, just do a Google search. You know what I'm talking about. Buy, borrow, die. I predict 4 or 5 more Scaramucci's for the market rebounds. That's pretty good. Nitrovan says, I'm back here with my wife and daughter for my 3rd time this year looking for a place to buy. Come over here by, not Condado, but Ocean Park. That's where we're staying at right now. Beautiful place. Kind of expensive, but there's some gems to be found. When are you going to do the smokehouse, Rob? I got to talk to Steven, and we'll do one maybe next week, maybe this week. We'll see. And as usual, I buy the first round. Steven buys the second round. And then off we go. And the good stuff, the good beers like Medaya. Not that other dribble. Yeah, it's a huge community. You can't go against them. You cannot go against the Cardano community. You know who was a bigger community and who you never want to talk negative about was the XRP community. But after everything that's happened, they've been a little bit more mute than what I remember. Huh. Robbie, you should join me in Argentina July 31st to meet with Charles and President Milei. Yeah. Argentina. Argentinian food. That sounds good. Travis says, and Travis is right. Rob, people are not worried about Russia attacking the USA. They can barely handle Ukraine. Putin never loved America. That's just very true. Travis got a good idea. There's this is a good meme. It's FAFO. F around and find out. And it says F around and find out, and Putin's going to discover why America doesn't have universal health care. And it's just it's a warship with a 20 different fighter pilots and planes. And yeah, you know, again, I'm not too worried about Russia. I'm just worried about, if you take a look at that BRICS information, is that their coalitions that they have. Looks like India is part of the plan. China is part of the plan. We'll see. But yeah, football is boring. Soccer is not. That's spoken like a true fan. Oh, Sanchez. Someone asked me about this a little bit ago, the Moolah token. Do you know if you hold OG Brett? If we're talking about Brett, if we're talking about the base coin that's on the base blockchain, probably the most centralized blockchain out there. No one seems to care though. Do you get an airdrop of Moolah? I have heard that, but I don't know for sure. I haven't kept up to date on that one. So I don't know. If someone could help out Sanchez in the comment section, go from there. Caspa. Yeah, I own some of that, but I own a lot of stuff. And I didn't know this. I'd heard about this. Bodan Gru's XRP community is still mute because they're mad about changes in the Flare FLR airdrop. I remember this because they wanted to dump the initial drop. I remember when Flare was coming out and the whole community was all about it. And then all of a sudden it just kind of was a dribble and didn't really make a big splash. And now that happened. So of course, somebody in the comment section later on will say, that's not true. It's because of this, this, and this. I agree with both of you. Sounds good. Kane pumping. Did Kane score already? I'm not for sure. Remember, everybody, and this is the last thing I'll say. It's a lottery ticket. Treat it as a lottery ticket. Have fun. Don't put your entire life savings into it. That's it for today. So look, if on your way out, if you can do me a favor, hit the like button. Apparently there's a big thing with the algorithm for YouTube. It seems to like that. But that's it for today. Thanks so much, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll see you on the next one. We'll try to release that Cornucopias video today. Really good one with Josh and Rob. Thanks so much, everybody. Adios. Have a good day.